All right, guys, what's going on? I just got done annealing all my 204 brass. This stuff is cooled off. I'm just getting ready to load it up. So this is the nozzler brass. You saw G working this out at the range on the last video, and I had a couple questions. One in particular was about the frequency between shots that I have on this with this 204. Okay, so move this a little bit here. So I thought maybe I would just take a second and talk about that. But so as you know, that is a Criterion barrel. It's stainless steel with a Remington varmint taper on it. Now Criterion barrels are hand lapped, so there's no marks on the inside of those things. They are really pretty clean. I bore scoped that when I first got it, and it looked really nice, real nice. It still looks nice after I clean it. So, so keep that in mind. But really, to be honest, to answer the question is, I run the gun pretty hot. When I do 3-shot groups, I probably get all 3 shots inside a minute, right? And I just load up the next 3 and I just keep banging away. So when we were at the range, like I mentioned in the last video, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I actually kind of talked about that there too, because you know we shot 29 shots at the range last time, and you know we were there for like an hour, but she was pretty much running them, you know, the whole time. Really, the rule of thumb with me is I don't baby the barrel. I don't really care. It's got to perform. If I got to run the thing 5 times back to back to back to back, I need to know where that thing's going to hit, you know. But the rule of thumb is if it's too hot to touch, like if you touch it out in front of, you know, the bore there, out in front of the chamber where the chamber is, and it's too hot to touch, then stop. But if it's not, if it's just warm, even if it's kind of like, oh, that's getting kind of hot, keep running it. You know, it's not going to hurt anything. So now the difference is with the 204, even as fast as it is and all that, it really doesn't build up a lot of heat in that barrel, and I think it's because it's a Criterion barrel, right? And well, not just Criterion, but it's a hand lapped. It's a lapped barrel, I should say. So you know, it doesn't have as much friction in it. There's no tooling marks in it. And the kind of reverse of that is my 243. I shoot that thing, and you know I shoot about 6, 7 times, 5, 6, 7 shots through that thing. It gets pretty hot. You go 10 shots, and you go, you know, do a 10-shot string with that 243. You could cook an egg on that thing. It is way too hot. Okay, and it's got a 1 in 10 twist. The 204's got a 1 in 11 twist, so they're pretty comparable. So, you know, I'm not afraid to run the gun. That's just me. And again, I think these days with Remage and Savage type barrel nut, you know, you don't need a gunsmith for those. You know, you just change them out. $250, $300, it's over. You know, you get a couple years out of it, switch it to something else. So, you know, it's like this 204. I shoot it a lot because I really don't care about burning a barrel out of it. It's not that big of a deal to me. I'll get a couple years out of it, and G will grow into like a 22 Creed or 220 Swift or something like that, right? This is just kind of a temporary, you know, caliber for her. So, anyways, that's how I run them. I don't wait for them to cool down. You know, it's not like I shoot every 2 minutes or something like that, or I shoot a string and I'll take 5 minutes off. I just don't do it that way. So that's just me. Anyways, sorry. I'm going to reload these guys. We're going to go 25.5 grains of XBR, 8208 XBR, 25.5 grains to 27 grains, running a 40 grain Berger. So this will be a direct repeat of the last set when this brass was brand new and not fired. So we'll see what we get. We'll run the chrono and have a little fun tomorrow. All right, guys. So just a quick follow-up to my last comments here. You know, as I'm, you know, deburring these things, you have time to think. about stuff, okay? And what I was thinking about was my earlier comments. One thing you got to keep in mind with the heat coming off these barrels, it's probably not as much the twist or the polish or the finish on it as much as it is the powder. Think about it. This 8208 XBR is a really fast powder in the 204. In the 243, I run H4350, which is like a medium to slow burning powder. It's a lot hotter, okay? Plus the payload, right? It's 44 grains or 39 and a half grains or whatever to compared to the 204, which has 27 or something in it. So that's probably the biggest thing. With these little guns like this, 204 don't mess around. I'll tell you though, my AR-15, that sucker gets stinking hot. That is a really hot gun. I don't get it. And that probably has to do with the compressed loads that I run in that thing, which I need to stop doing. But the cases come out of the side of that guy and you can't even pick them up. And that's like after 5 shots or something like that. So, but still, I am not afraid to just run the gun until it gets too hot to touch, and then I back off. Just because if it can't do that, in a hunting situation, where I suck and I miss a bunch or something like that, I just keep firing, right? That thing needs to be accurate, right? So if this thing is going to heat up and do weird things, I don't want it. I'm just not going to do it. I'll just replace it with something else. So I actually did replace a Remington CDL. Man, that was a beautiful gun, walnut stock, all that other stuff. After about 4 shots, that thing was all over the place. I sold it. I didn't want that thing anymore. Took it back, traded it in, whatever. But don't be afraid to run a gun. All right, that's it. All right, guys, back from the range here. So, as per usual, extreme spreads are not great. All right, so I'm just going to run through those really quick. Again, we're 25 and a half grains to 27 grains of IMR 8208 in the 204. All right, so these extreme spread values are always pretty high for basically everything. I think as low as I've ever got them, and this was with brass that had at least 4 or 5 turns on it, was in the mid-20s, right? Mid-20s, low 30s sort of thing. But anyways, I got a 39, a 63, a 68, a 58, a 41, and nothing because my battery died in the chrono. I got 1 shot over here. But there is a little bit of something going on with the velocity node, which is the whole point of this thing, okay? So we start out here at 25 and a half grains, we get a 3520. And then we jump up 82 feet per second in just 0.3 grains, okay? So we're jumping up onto a node, kind of, here, right? Then we get a 3602, a 3653, a 3689. So these guys right here are 87 feet per second, these 3 here, right? That's it, okay? Then, of course, we jump up to 3705. And then, so really right here, these 4 here are 100, right? From this card to this card, this is 3800, that's 95 jump right there. So this is a bit of a node, okay? This is what I'm looking for. So I want to work in here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to run, I'll probably run these 2 guys here because I want to run this a little hot, to be honest with you. I want them to get there in a hurry, right? This is for G, punching time cards on woodchucks. So, yeah, I'm going to push them. So I'll probably take these two guys and do some tester seating depths. Just pick like a long and a short, see which direction we need to maybe go. But anyways, I'm going to reshoot these guys, I think, and see just what happens. The groups aren't too bad on this. I didn't really yank this, but, you know, it is what it is. We really don't care about the group size at this stage of the game. But anyways, stay tuned. I got another trip to the range coming here, so thanks a lot.